So as Anna has already mentioned, Susanna is at the beach, or not at the beach, at the lake, and she was supposed to be talking with me today, but being the most capable wife that she is, she has sent me words to share with you all. So just pretend her beautiful voice and vision is here in front of you for the next few moments. So says Susanna, it takes a village. For our family, that village has been St. Luke's, starting with godly play, then the Journey to Adulthood program, and especially the family choir. Through these, the people at St. Luke's have helped us raise our children, and they continue to do that. I believe that this church was one of the most important influences in their childhood and adolescence. The values of loving and accepting people because we are all God's children, taking care of creation, working for social justice, and making a positive difference in the world, all were and are being taught by example in the St. Luke's community. Jim and I have found so much friendship and support, which has continued after our children grew up. So y'all are raising us up too. It makes it easy to give our time and treasure to this wonderful church because we truly love St. Luke's. And now for me, from my standpoint, St. Luke's has been a haven, a true third place. Not home, not work, but something quite different that adds a lot of balance to life. Because our work is so consuming, I needed a place where I could put that aside for a while and focus on spiritual health and growth. And as Susanna noted, this community soon became our anchor and the place where we could get our batteries recharged to continue through the challenges that life brings. We have been members here for around 27 years. We arrived as the congregation was dealing with the retirement of Chuck Blank, who had been rector for 20 some odd years. And after about a year of being here, Jim Daniels was called as rector and stayed with us for about 5 years. Then came Cindy Banks and family, and the church thrived during this time, as we all know. So you can see the cycle repeats. And so now we are at the position where we were when we first came 27 years ago. But, now, although we are in this transition again, I must admit that I feel calm and hopeful because we are about as healthy a congregation as I can imagine. And our leadership and vestry are simply outstanding. A brief word to stewardship. I led the stewardship committee several years early in Cindy's tenure. I was fortunate enough to attend a conference put on by the Episcopal Network for Stewardship, where I first heard Michael Curry, then Bishop of North Carolina, and Ched Myers, a theologian with the Bartimaeus Cooperative Ministries. I went through a bit of a conversion experience in regards to how to deal with money in a more healthy way during that time. After that, giving to the church became a prayerful discernment that allowed us to have a healthier attitude toward wealth and a joyful heart in giving back to this community. And with that, I say thank you and hand it off to the next person.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Mark Trahan. I'm a new parishioner along with my family, Lisa Trahan, and our two daughters, Macy and Maddie Trahan. And we've been here for 1 year now. So I wanted to speak to the gospel today. In the gospel, it said, "Then he took a little child and put it among them, and taking it in his arms, he said to them, 'Whoever welcomes one such child in my name welcomes me. And whoever welcomes me welcomes not me, but the one who sent me.'" 3 Sundays ago, our household erupted into conflict. After a difficult night of illness, the parents convened, and we decided it was not in the best interest of our family to attend church, for obvious reasons. Our children arose that Sunday morning with dashed expectations that they would attend the St. Luke's ritualistic Sunday morning service, and our girls are fierce advocates. And Macy, our oldest, especially drove home the argument. She wanted to be a greeter. My oldest daughter has always been a fierce advocate for herself. Last night, she was convinced at 10 o'clock at night that a molasses boil at St. Luke's parishioners Cecil and Julie Garganis' house at their home she would get a taste of molasses before I said that it was time for us to go home. It was 10 o'clock, and I knew what the morning would look like if we didn't say now. But she was angry and disappointed when at 10 o'clock Dad said that it was time to leave, with no taste of molasses on her lips. She again protested. She had been waiting 10 hours for this experience and this moment, and Dad had robbed her of it. And while I know that the focus in this moment was on the sweet taste of molasses that would fall from the paddle onto her lips, it was more than that. It was about relationships. It was about these people, us. It was about their relationship with Cecil and Julie. It was about the welcoming that they had experienced since they came to St. Luke's. In the early part of the day, she came up to me running up with excitement, announcing that she had lit a match and started a fire for the very first time to start the boil. She had explained that Cecil, through his mentorship, had taught her how to light the match and how to start the fire. She stood proudly, and then she ran away to find the pack of kids, most of whom were here from this church, were playing together, doing outdoor activities, and enjoying each other's company. Later, I had learned that Cecil had helped Macy learn how to strike the match, but when she was not successful on the first time, instead of doing it for her, he gave her another match and asked her to try again. Now, I need to have a frank conversation with Cecil about teaching my child how to start fires. But frankly, I am overjoyed. I'm overjoyed. Because while it didn't happen in these walls, I use this as an example of the welcoming of our children received by the body of Christ. Not only did Cecil take time to explain the process, but after she was not successful in lighting the match, he allowed her to try again until she was successful. And that was priceless. The welcoming of our children into this community has been one of the greatest gifts of St. Luke's. That welcome began when 1 week after we attended St. Luke's for the first time, we received a welcoming email from Emily Dakin, another parent and a mother of PT. I recall the warmth and the excitement from Lisa at the possibility that we'd found a church that would be welcoming to our whole family. That welcome continued each Sunday as Mary Willis welcomed our children to godly play, using her seasoned skills of Montessori education to create a safe space for our children to explore the beautiful stories of the Bible. And we noticed so many rituals that welcomed our children. We noticed that they were allowed to speak during glad news and their moments closest to Christ. We heard their prayers at the altar during communion. And as the priests and the clergy exited the service, they held on to their vestments as they left. This has meant the world to us. Each Sunday, our girls are fierce advocates to attend St. Luke's. To have a child that hungers and yearns to attend church, that is a gift. And it comes through the welcome of you, St. Luke's parishioners. We've received so much in addition to that welcoming environment for our children. I wrote a list of words that came to mind for me as gifts of this congregation. And these were the words that came, the attributes of this community. Community of kindness, rich music, liturgy, and culture. Intergenerational relationships that are generative and giving. The joy of worship, creating space for recovery groups, appreciation for all seasons of life, the leadership of our congregation, but not just clergy. How many leaders are in this congregation, in our community, in our work world? The sanctity for the arts, visual and performance. The commitment of service to both the congregation and the local community. Families that actively participate here. Generational participation and the legacy of generational membership. The beauty of worship. And financial stability of the church through stewardship that will continue to support this wonderful gift we have. I know that we take care of the things we value. And that's what this means to me. So many gifts, so many attributes. I'd like to personally thank you. Thank you for welcoming us into your midst. We are blessed to know you and join with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Good morning. My name is Owen McDaniel. I am one of the college interns here at St. Luke's, and I work primarily with the middle school youth group. I feel like my story here at St. Luke's kind of starts off a little bit stranger. I came here for a parking pass. That was the first interaction that I had here. It was at the start of the spring semester this year, and I came in to pay for the parking pass and immediately met Elizabeth and Mother Cindy and was just immediately embraced by a sense of welcoming and love from all of them. And it just drew me into the church. And I came to church that following Sunday, and it just spiraled down into a snowball of me getting more and more involved in the church. And it's something that I'm very grateful for. I keep coming back to St. Luke's, mainly because I believe in the mission of all Episcopal churches, and especially this one, which is to show love to all people, no matter who you are or where you come from. I feel like it's really self-evident by all the programs that St. Luke's does, such as the community garden out there, and the fact that we work with so many different community-based organizations to help spread love outwards into the community. I find myself giving a lot to this church, whether that's working with the youth or just helping to work with the community gardens and other things like that, mainly out of love. Now that I think about it, the real reason I just keep coming back is because of the love that this church just shows everyone, everywhere. I try to give as much as I can to the church, most of it being time-wise, because I'm a college kid. I don't have much financially. Because I want to help the church show more people the unconditional love that I have been shown. The love that I've been shown from the church doesn't always happen at the church, though. I'm a part of the Presbyterian Episcopal Campus Ministry, or PECM, as we like to call it. This ministry meets at this place known as Third Place, which Jim was talking on earlier. Not a home, not a work, but a place where you go and you recharge, and you just have fun and fellowship, different things. This ministry is one that this church supports, and Anna runs. Coming in last year, whenever I came for the parking pass, I was immediately invited to go and join this campus ministry. And that first week I went and I joined, and it felt like a home to me. I got to go in, sit down at a table with a bunch of people that I didn't know, never met, and eat a meal with them, talk about life, who I was, who they were, and just to get involved with them. This made me feel welcome and loved in this community. This fellowship that is PECM provides a ministry among the college kids that is like no other youth group or just any college program that I've ever seen. Among these meetings that we have weekly, we also have things such as spiritual retreats, where we make some of the most amazing memories. One of them that I remember is going to Monterey and just running around through the playground. There's nobody out there. Felt like a little kid. I continue to give my time to PECM because that emphasizes that God's love knows no bounds and is abundant as a resource. I believe that all students of Appalachian State should be able to experience this love. I continue to give my time to this church because I believe that everybody should be able to experience God's love, no matter who they are or what they believe in, because it should be unconditional and abundant.